Hey, everybody, this is Jonathan Ogden, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
Hey, Bruin fans, this is David Singleton, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show. Go Bruins.
Hey, this is Wayne Cook, and you're listening to What's Bruin Show.
Hey, guys, it's Chris Johnson, UCLA national champion. I need y'all to listen to the What's Bruin Show. These dudes are off the hook.
This is Maurice Jones-Drew, and you're listening to the What's Bruin Show.
You're listening to the What's Bruin Show, part of the What's Bruin Show network, with your hosts, Jake Berryfield and Mike Regalado, and occasionally some friends, talking all things UCLA sports. And now, it's time for the What's Bruin Show.
Well, hello and welcome to What's Bruin. I am your host, Jake Merrifield, and I'm joined here by my good buddy, Mike Regalado from Bruin Report Online.
Big applause, Big Mike.
What's up, yo?
Mikey, you're here, I'm here. The Utah Utes just kicked the living shit out of our Bruins. It was pretty rough.
Did you say Utes?
I did say Utes. And,
by the
it's
way,
pretty ugly.
Were you there when they played that clip on the big board at the Rose Bowl?
What quarter did they play it in?
Before the game started, like right before kickoff.
I think I walked in. I've seen them play it before. Yeah, they played it before, and I was like, yeah.
Okay, I was going to ask you, have they done that before?
Done
and
that
if
before.
so,
yeah.
They haven't given us credit because we were the original ones to use that drop because
we definitely the ones who use the drop because we're the only people making drops out of things. For
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll take that.
A little love would help UCLA.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I get annoyed because on the podcast at Champions, your coworker David Woods uses the other quote that doesn't make any sense about those two Utes. No, it's what is a Ute and did you say Utes? Those are the quotes.
Yeah,
but at least he's not stealing our shit. So I guess he's got that going for him.
That's true.
Anywho, it's What's Bruin Show on the What's Bruin Show Network. Thank you for your support. Twitter is at What's Bruin Show. Substack is What's Bruin. Patreon.com/What's Bruin Show or what'sbruin.substack.com. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, we have a hotline. It's 805-399-4WBS. Sagaran Troy. We have like 8 calls. I don't know the quality of these calls. Like this show may be like an hour of calls. I think I see Kerry on here, so I'm sure that's a good call. I see Jamaal on here. He's probably just talking shit because the Bears won. The Bears. And then there's 2 calls that I can't see a transcription for that are like really long, so we'll have to chop those down. Whoever you are calling from the 610, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, the calls are back. And you know what inspires calls? Rousing Bruin victories.
Not wins.
And horrible drubbings at the hands of the Utah Utes.
Yeah, I think it's more of a situation where callers want to vent.
It's just, it inspires, emotion, right?
Yeah.
The big victories and the horrible defeats, which is one of those. Absolutely.
Also, I texted
you. Like
you.
My AI picture I generated?
That was awesome. Someone stole it, by the way.
I saw that.
A Utah
I
person
them
stole
so.
it. They're like, hey,
He's
thanks,
welcome
guys.
He's welcome to it.
Like, you know what? Y'all whipped on UCLA. Do what you want with it.
Do your thing.
But as I was driving home, I turned on the radio and 790 ABC, 790 AM, ABC radio, KABC radio. Yeah, sorry about that. No Bruin talk. No post-game Bruin talk. And obviously I went to, why would AM 570 do it? Because they're no longer the station that hosts the Bruins. Whole lot of stuff going on that's weird this season. So I came up with an idea. I know you're doing the post-game podcast, but there might be a little bit of a market for us to do like a Spaces, a post-game, or an after-game Bruin convo so people can vent.
I saw
live.
your text. I'm definitely going to be non-committal to that, but
it was just weird. I was like,
you should do that
I like
and
driving.
Then tell them to call the hotline too.
I like driving home from games, listening to what fans have to say, whether it's a win or a loss. And Tim Cates usually did it. Sometimes Brian Fenley was on it, but there was it was silence.
Actually, breaking
Absolute
news.
silence.
We did not cover this, in the off season. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I forgot about it last week too because it just happened like the week before.
Tell me what
2
happened
weeks
with
ago.
this. I didn't even.
It just came out of nowhere where
UCLA
announced that they were all football games and men's basketball games and 4 women's basketball games. Hey, it's a start. Are going to now be broadcast on AM 790 KABC.
with absolutely no pre and post game and just a total.
That's what I was waiting. On my way to the game, I was
because I was wondering that KABC is not owned by AM 570. It's not owned by
no
the Kiss FM station, all that stuff.
No,
that's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm sure if it's part of the broadcast, I'm sure that they have, Wayne Cook and Matt Stevens.
Sounds rumpy-pumpy.
This whole situation sounds rumpy-pumpy.
Doing their normal post-game, but there's no post-game Bruin talk. That's that was weird. I was like, I just wanted to hear something, even people venting. But we have the vent line here, so we'll get into that. So,
and we got plenty of calls, but that is... See, I didn't realize that because I was confused on the way home when I was trying to fire it up, and I went to the Patriot and I went to AM 570. I was like, oh, the Dodgers probably on. I did not realize. So that just means that you just took. There's literally no motivation for any local radio show to talk about the Bruins anymore.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking too.
And they're not going to,
because it's a news station. It's not a sports station. Yeah. So that actually puts UCLA at a disadvantage because you're not going to get the coverage that you should or that you usually do. Although I had issues with UCLA not. With 570 not covering UCLA or branding them the way that ESPN radio does for USC. Like even commercial breaks, you'll hear I'm blanking on the athletic director now, but they come on as like, oh well, here's our athlete of the week. You never got anything like that from 570. So maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. It just felt weird, because I mean they'll probably on the actual. On ESPN and 570, they'll most likely talk about UCLA, especially since they suck. And I didn't hear it today because the Dodger game was on my way over here.
But they're already talking minimum. For the last, since they got the Dodger contract, they talk minimum college football.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
But now even less. And
even
why
less,
would they even talk anything about UCLA? Just like any other, just like the national media, like the Bruins are solidly under the radar now with this butt kicking to the youth.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Yeah, I don't want to get hung up with this too much more. I mean, we already, but
we forgot to talk about it last week.
Yeah, totally forgot. Yeah, I totally didn't realize. Wow, so that's alarming. Okay, well, rip Tim Cates post-game show, I guess.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, anyway, it's the What's Bruin Show, the What's Bruin Show Network. I want to get to the calls in a minute, but Mike, do you have any headlines?
I do actually, just two. Basketball talk, baby. I'll make this quick. Because Jake has the basketball, hates the basketball talk. But both pieces of information came out today. The UCLA women's basketball team will be part of the 4-team multi-team event in the inaugural WBCA Challenge in Las Vegas. Not a tournament, but an event where they will play North Carolina on one day and South Florida, I believe, on the second day. And I'm forgetting who the fourth team is. But that'll be a mid-November event for UCLA, so they'll be heading back to Sin City. UCLA also announced, and this is I'm having trouble trying to figure out maybe the definitions of this, but anyway, UCLA releases details of 2 exhibition games. Well, they're going to have an exhibition game at San Diego State, and then they are going to have a game at Pauley Pavilion. Why am I blanking on against UC Irvine? Now here's the thing: they say it's open to the public. If it's an exhibition game, why would it not be open to the public? I guess it means free, but I'm wondering if they mean secret scrimmage, as teams usually do. I think that's more in line with what the definition of either is. The definition of secret scrimmage and an actual exhibition game, which is actually treated like a proper home game. So I don't know. I was a little confused by this, but UCLA will be at San Diego State on Friday, October 17th at Viejas Arena. And they'll be at Pauley Pavilion on October 28th. So those 2 games will start the season. But yeah, I'm like, okay, but so yeah, just a little confused on the definition of what all this is. So, because I thought UCLA already had an exhibition game, which, it doesn't matter. It's not basketball season yet.
It's not, Mike.
We need to complain about football
some people
season,
wish it was.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I tweeted out, is it hockey season yet? 4 people liked it.
That's okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, here.
GKG.
Very good with the headlines. I do want to get to this right quick.
Kind of come to mind that we were close. like it wasn't exactly what I thought. I was a little more disappointed right after the game, and then seeing the film, it brought a little more life into me, just because if we can execute, and there's a lot of things that we can actually fix. So that's the bright spot that I saw in that. And talking to the team, I can tell that they were ready to hear those things, and they saw the same thing too after talking to them today.
So Mikey, Deshaun Foster, the coach of the UCLA Bruins, football coach, second year, first game, got murdered by Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Utes ran him over,
Mm-hmm.
standing over that poor bear on the Rose Bowl, wonderful grass.
Poor bear.
But this quote of his made big headlines today, and everybody was kind of dragging him for it. Our friends like Michael Hanna were dragging him for it. Every headline was, "We're close," and then it like juxtaposed with the 87-2 final score of the Utah UCLA game. Yeah. I have some very strong thoughts about the reaction to the quote, but I don't know about you. Like, do you have any thoughts before I go on my little tirade?
I thought it was taken out of context because that's just what people read. They didn't, for the most part, just reading it and jumping to the conclusion before hearing in what context he said it. I think he should have been a lot more clearer, saying we were close. Yeah, not really when you lose by 33 points, something like that.
Yeah, whatever.
But saying he didn't exactly say in different plays we were close to what we wanted to execute. I think if he would have said it in those terms, might have been a little bit clearer. But there's a quote out there. You jump on it, but I think he just needed to explain it a little bit better.
And that's fine, but like that's the big headline you see, and then people are like making fun of him for that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess I understand where it comes from, because when you do say something like that after a game like that, I guess you
were not close.
Ripe to be kind of dragged over the coals a little bit. But at the same time, it's like, what do you expect him to say as the coach? It was as if the media wanted him to walk out there, and you were part of that scrum. You were there asking a lot of questions, Mike. Good job with your questions.
Thank you.
But it was like they wanted him to come out there and just say, yeah, we suck, and we're never going to win another game, and our guys suck, and you see how bad we were, and you see how good Utah is, and oh my gosh, we're just the most terriblest team that's ever walked out there, and just like, fire me now when I quit. Like it's like he couldn't have said anything to get a positive headline coming out of this. And the fact that he just comes out and basically says, well, we watched the film and it's not as bad as we thought. And by the way, I watched the film afterwards and it's not as bad as I thought either, really, even though it was still a giant ass kicking. We're going to get to why it was a giant ass kicking. But it's like, it's game one. You went up against a team that probably, we don't know for sure, but probably is pretty good.
Well, it
didn't go your way, but you still have 11 more games left, and you have 3 very manageable games next. And it's like, this guy's the coach. You're not the coach. You're the media reporting what he says or whatever. But, how big of a reaction can you have after this? I don't know. It's just, it's a little frustrating for me. So I thought that how he explained it and what he said kind of rang true with me. And I also don't think there's any alternative to what he could have said to appease these guys. He's not there to appease you guys in the media that are sitting there in front of him. He's not there to appease the guys writing the headlines or whatever. He's still got to coach his team. And he's got 11 more opportunities to get out there and do that, probably, unless he gets fired, which I don't think he'll get fired after game 2 or 3.
No.
I mean, I guess if they lose to UNLV, maybe, we might be talking about a tarmac. But it doesn't seem like it's what it's going to be. But it's like, if he would have come out there and said, oh, we suck and we're terrible, then everybody would get on about blaming his players, It's after game 1. You have 3 manageable games now. So you've, in my opinion, of course you're going to talk about how, we can fix it. We're going to, and we're going to play better next week. And that's all you can do, but it really rubbed me the wrong way, the way that people are jumping all over him for that. What else do you want him to say? He's a fucking coach.
Yeah.
But anywho, Mikey, we'll just get right into the football talk.
Blue 32, Blue 32,
Sometimes it's hard to be a Bruin. Giving all your love to just one team.
Sometimes it's hard to be a Bruin. Giving all your love to just one team. They'll have their good games and they'll have their bad games. Calling plays that don't fit any scheme. But if you love them, you'll forgive them. Even when you don't get the game plan. And if you love them, oh, be proud of them, 'cause after all, they're still your team. Cheer loud, Bruin fan. Let them know you're there to help them, even when they look helpless and Utah's up by 50.
What is a Ute?
Hang tough, Bruin fan. Next time, maybe they'll play better. Mix in some zone with that man-to-man. Hang in there, Bruin fan. Stay proud, Bruin fan. Show the Big Ten you love them. Keep giving all that NIL you can, baby. Stand tall, Bruin fan.
Well played, Jake. That
I really
was
wish
awesome.
this is when I really wish Bill and Mike were still part of the show. Like, you know, Mike, you're here. We got you to lay down the vocals.
Yeah.
Especially like you and Bill. I don't know. Not me. Oh, that's something's on YouTube. I gotta shut this down. There you go.
All right, that's
good. Sorry. That happened.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Are they worse than last year?
Yeah. So Mike,
didn't they fix this?
I did my post game for that game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's on the feed behind this one. But you were at the game. You covered it. You had to stay for the press conference.
Yep.
You went to the practice afterwards.
Yep.
Did that press conference. What were your thoughts on this game, Mikey? What do you want to say about it before we get to the calls?
I honestly thought that this team, yeah, I thought they were they're worse than last year. Yes, it's a new bunch of coaches, new system, a lot of new players, but wow, I thought the defense would at least be a lot more aggressive. There are many points that I have, and I'll make them real quick, and I want to start with the defense. The fact that there was absolutely no push into the backfield. Like that guy, Dampierre, did whatever the hell he wanted. He ran from sideline to sideline a few times. That's insane. And it seemed like when they tried to get pressure, they tried to like force pressure with 2, 3, or 4 guys from the same side, leaving the opposite side open. Also, interior linemen, even some of the edges, when they were going up against the offensive line, which was pretty badass, they got stood up, and it seemed like they were locked in place. No attempt to shed blocks, to swim out of a block, spin move to get somewhere, and it just seemed like everyone was like a half a step late. And
if you watch the game and you just watch the line of scrimmage was taking place 2 yards in the in the defensive backfield for the Bruins every single play, and that you can't win that way.
No, exactly. But it didn't help. Yeah, if you're not getting access from the edges or even up the middle, the linebackers and secondary should help out. At least maybe cover some of those gaps in the zone. Maybe play a little bit closer. I did see a couple times where I was like, yeah, some of the DBs are a little bit too, at least for my liking, a little bit too far back. It didn't seem like a Malloy defense at all. And yeah, granted, they lose 4 guys that were drafted, but there's still talent on this team, and they seem to regress a lot. The offense kind of looked like it would confuse. There was a lot of pre-snap motion early. Didn't really see that much of it.
By the way, Chip Kelly's first series as UCLA's coach and coordinator, lots of that funny motion all over the place.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
Which I'm all for if you can execute, but yeah, it just seemed like the offensive line could not.
You think what do you think about them in the first quarter or so?
I thought
because they were protecting.
They were above
him.
average. Yeah,
they were protecting him. They just
they
weren't really trying to run the ball that much. They just stalled on that first drive.
Yeah,
and then they were down 14 or 13 nothing, and then the second drive, I don't remember what happened on that, but that was like a 3 and out, and then now you're 20 nothing, and then what do you do?
They gave Nico a lot of a good amount of time to operate. A few of those Nico passes were just like, whoa, okay.
I thought he was so juiced, like he was so
I could see that
hyped
too.
up,
like ready to come in and destroy.
Well, we talked to Wayne Cook before the season. He's talking about how Nico is a guy that throws with touch, and he's got all the tools, and everything's, the form and everything is wonderful, and yada, yada, yada. And I could see it, but also he was throwing passes, especially in the first half, like DTR threw passes. And if there's anything we know about DTR, DTR, mercurial DTR.
Yeah.
Like, he could drop 500 on you through the air and on the ground, but he, especially early in his career, he had no touch on his ball. He threw bullets everywhere.
Yeah.
And I just felt like Nico was a little overjuiced, at least early in this game. And I thought that cost him, it cost him on the throw to Mikey Matthews, and just, a couple of the plays, he was just throwing bullets when, maybe he takes a little bit off it and they're doing a little bit better. But I thought this was him kind of being all geeked up.
Yeah.
I expect him to be better the next game.
Yeah. And there was absolutely no run game. The running backs could not get chunk yardage at all. That came from Nico Iamaleava, who at times had to extend plays. He had to stretch the field, and when things broke down, he just took it and ran. But yeah, I asked Foster about that, and was like, "Are you concerned that he's taking too much?"
Too many
and he
hits?
goes, "It's like," he said, "No, but he needs to learn how to slide."
Yeah,
more.
That's definitely true. Because that's I thought that Dampier was going to have the type of game that Nico had, where he was struggling to find receivers, and he was struggling to stay in the pocket, and then he would they would hit him a few times, and then it would kind of slow him down. And unfortunately, Utah never had to stretch themselves out at all. It was all just the most basic vanilla sort of attack, and they could just beat the Bruins by just running straight up down the middle. And
they didn't do anything special either. Yeah,
Dampier only kind of ran when he kind of was like, okay, I guess I will.
Yeah,
but it wasn't really anything featured until towards the end of the game, and they didn't really have to do any of that.
No.
And so that's what was so depressing about that part of it.
Yeah, it just seemed like they didn't have to dip into the playbook too much, because it seemed like the stuff that they run in practice was sufficient enough to beat UCLA.
When you're 80% on third down, that's gonna
that was insane. Oh my god, there were so many 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2, and I was joking with some of the media guys in there. It goes, oh, it's 3rd and short. Let's guess what's going to happen. 7-yard push up the middle for first down. There you go.
Yeah,
it was just mind-boggling how the defense just could not stop them. And yeah, Nico had to basically try to do a lot extra, but it's just not on him. Everybody has to figure out a way to get on board, or this is going to be bad.
Yeah, and I am frustrated by the fact that look, none of us expected UCLA to get blown out like this, but a loss was very, very possible. Nobody expected them to look this bad, but given all of the turnover on the roster, including Nico Iamaleava, right? And all the coaches, this was a very possible outcome. And it's like, I'm not willing to just say, okay, the season's done. This is what they are after one game against what looks to me like a pretty darn good team. It's like, let me see them a few more games. Let me see them against lesser competition now and see how they do. Let me see when they run up against some of these 50-50 games in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
You know, but now they have 3 seemingly lesser opponents on the schedule, even though ESPN might have something to say about that. Gee whiz.
Yeah, wow.
At UNLV versus New Mexico, and then at Northwestern. Northwestern looked worse than the Bruins did. I mean, you know, it's hard to say that, but they did.
Currently, in the FPI, UCLA is ranked 80. They dropped from 51 to 80.
Yeah. But you're going to do that when you put up stats like that,
yeah,
you know?
But those three teams are sub 50 in the FPI rankings. I think UNLV is 59th. New Mexico is 113th, and Northwestern is
UNLV is 59th.
87. Yeah.
And I don't know what it's based on. I mean, you watch their first 2 games, and they took on some pretty crappy teams.
Yeah, they took on an FCS
mightily.
team and a team that used to be an FCS team.
So it's just like, you know.
And they received votes this week, too. I'm like, yeah, they're good, but is that just because of Dan Mullen? But
if you watch that game, I don't know how you're going to vote for them. If you watch those games, especially that first one.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
But
that first one was a little painful to watch.
Let's not put the cart before the horse. But talking about the Bruins right now, right? And it's like, it's only one game. Yeah, they got their ass kicked, but it's only one game. And it's not like we've never seen them get their ass kicked by Utah before. And that was like curtains for everything. Yeah. It's like, no, it's not an encouraging sign. But there are reasons why it could have gone this way, as ugly as it did. And the good thing for the Bruins this year is, well, they're not going from Indiana to LSU to Oregon to Penn State.
Yeah, there's no murderer's row.
They're going Utah to UNLV, New Mexico, Northwestern. So there is a chance for them to turn it around. And the thing, you know, we started the show by me grousing about people, you know, giving Deshaun Foster a hard time about the we're close thing. But the other thing is just driving me up the fucking wall is all of these people, you know, and it's whatever, it's the Twitter sphere or it's the other
social media in general
out there, whatever, you know, whatever. But it's like, you're taking this way too personally because, they got Nico Iamaleava. Oh, they have a chance to beat Utah and then be nationally ranked when they go into Penn State. Oh, well, it didn't happen. So stop
we were
crying
part of
about
that problem too, but.
No, but Mike, you're rattling your mic again. Stop playing with your microphone.
Sorry. I'm in. Oh, I get you. Sorry, I'm just.
But I'm
David
sorry.
Bowie mode.
I know you totally.
Trent Reznor mode.
You're singing that thing.
By the way, did you see the? Don't mean to derail you. Did you see the video of Trent Reznor at a concert over the weekend?
No.
There was someone dressed up as a Santa Claus and crowd surfing. And right during the chorus of "Head Like a Hole," he pauses because he starts cracking up.
That's awesome.
So,
I love that.
And he was like, then he goes back into it. Trent Reznor, raw, head like a hole.
That's sorry, good. I do that.
Sorry, but yes, this.
But look, yeah, we said that we thought they would beat Utah because, like, we thought.
And
but
we lied to you.
But we also said we have no idea what this team is.
Yeah.
We have no idea. Of course, we're going to pick the Bruins when we think they're, you know, when we're going into the season. Why wouldn't we not?
Yeah.
But. And this was in the possible range of outcomes. So what I'm getting at is people take this like totally personal, like, oh, well, now they squandered this opportunity, yada, yada, yada. Okay, well, they were never going to the playoff this year, okay? We're all hoping they win 6, 7, 8 games, which is still completely on the table. It doesn't look like it the way they played, but it's like, don't get upset because you can't go to work and be like, ooh, look at the Bruins.
Yeah.
Or don't go to work because you're going to work and, like, literally this happened to my work. I walk into work today and there's a sign that has the UCLA score and the USC score. But
awesome.
You know who's not taking it personal? Me.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I'm not out there fucking playing.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch them next week too.
Yeah.
You know, guess what? I'm one of the few that are watching them. Mike, you were there.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for a half. It was me and you and like 14,000 people. Like they couldn't, you know, if you are following the Bruins right now, like you're one of the rare few. So you might as well, you know, instead of just being pissed off about it all the time, just see where it goes.
Yeah.
Because we have no control over it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, get off your ding. Stop taking it personal, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mike.
No, I was just saying, you're fired up. You're coming in hot. Jake.
Do you think we drink too much?
No, we don't drink too much.
Men face reality, women don't. That's why men need to drink.
I hate it when podcasters talk about what they're drinking.
What else am I gonna drink, Bob? A fucking Fresca?
No, we're not having Frescas tonight, but we're having a little bit of comfort food. You know, it's the What's Bruin Show on the What's Bruin Show Network. It's the What's Bruin Symposium, conversation over drinks. And Mikey's here with me in the What's Bruin studio. And right when you got here, Mikey, I made some dinner. It was, you know, my great-great-great-grandmother's recipe out on the Bywater. Of course, many generations, New Orleanians in my family. It's not actually true.
Of Merryfields.
Yeah. Actually,
on the bayou.
I went to New Orleans for the first time about 10 years ago, and I stole the recipe from Mr. B's Bistro. But it's my barbecue shrimp recipe.
Yeah, you offered me some, and damn.
Was it good, Mike?
Yeah, that sauce
I'm glad you
alone,
enjoyed it. I'm glad you
obviously.
enjoyed it. Yeah, that sauce is very addictive. Yeah. But we need some comfort food because the Bruins just got murdered by the Utes at the Rose Bowl, and that's never good.
They just got whipped by a bunch of goddamn nerds.
But so I made some of that. I made a Sazerac, the official cocktail of New Orleans. I enjoyed that. I made it with a bottle of Sazerac Rye that I have. Mikey, what are you drinking? Some hazy little thing over there?
Yeah, just I usually try to go with some sort of theme, but I was like, you know what,
You know what the theme is tonight? Pain.
Yeah, but not too much pain because I'm having get
us out of the haze
by Sierra Nevada hazy little thing IPA, only 6%. It's a nice subtle taste, a hazy taste, and I've really liked it. I've really grown to like it, especially since it's not one of the 8, 9, 10% beers that just totally wreck people. I mean, I'm used to it. I can handle it, but this is a good one. This is just a nice subtle, especially for summer. You know, end of the summer. We're into spooky season now. September, baby.
That's
birth
right.
month.
Here we go.
But it's still effing
Happy
hot.
birthday, Jorge.
For people that live in LA, it might be September. It's still effing hot. Yeah,
No doubt.
It still gets hot until November.
Yeah.
Through November. Yeah.
I'm hearing you. Thank you, Mikey.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for supporting the What's Bruin Show. Substack, the Patreon, you can see it in the show notes. Mike, for how much a month?
$2.
$2.
Just $2 a month. You can send the What's Bruin Show into the future. And the reason we do that is just because, you know, we like doing this. We've done it for 12, 13 years now. And we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to say whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
And that's why we do it like this.
Yeah, if you buddy.
I'm not going to have Keisha on my show unless she's in studio.
I mean,
$2.
Yeah.
$2.
I'm in. I was just going to say that after the game, just immediately seeing what I saw, I was like,
"What you seen?
This is wow. This is not good."
I seen what you saw too.
Yeah, and then going back and watching it on TV, I was same thing. I'm like, okay, they almost had that. They almost had that. They almost have that. They should have had that, which probably could have had a different outcome. But I was originally thinking, wow, this season is just going to be as bad or worse as last year. Slept on it, looked at the game film, and I realized, you know what? We don't have to rewrite the whole season. Our predictions,
at least not yet.
Projections.
Not yet.
We can remix it. We know kind of what's going on. We know the foundation. We know the beat. It's not great. It just has to be remixed. There has to be other elements in it that can make it work and can make people get into the stands, because if they keep doing this is just kind of like a scratched record. Like,
look, if they
skipping
start
over and over.
If they start 0-2, I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
we're seriously like. And by the way, they get to 0-4. What are we doing?
Shutting it down.
Shutting
people.
the show down. It's not going to happen. The show's done.
We've invested all these thousands of dollars in equipment and stuff like that. We're like, you know, frick it. we're done.
We'll start
we're
a band, bro.
I am all for that.
WS on tour.
Yeah, former members of the What's Bruin Show.
Hey, it works too. It'll just be the What's Bruin Show.
Yeah, the hottest dark wave.
Yeah,
football-based band on the West Coast.
I'm just saying, you know, but
that would be awesome.
The bottom line is
a football-based goth band. Oh,
yes.
Damn! All of our lyrics are just like esoteric in the football world.
I like it. Yeah.
Pete Carroll sucks. Pete Carroll sucks. I hate SC. God damn it. Stupid Utah.
Oh, man.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
I know what came to me out of that. Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly suck.
Pete Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly suck. Screw those Raiders. F all Raider lovers.
You know, I'm kind of hoping to go 0-4 now.
Yeah, we started there. The bottom line is, when they're like, look, if they come out against UNLV and they look like they did against Utah, then I will be like, okay, we're on the death march of Deshaun Foster's coaching career and it's done. But we're a long way from that. Okay, I think they're going to play better. I think that these guys played pretty hard for Foster last year. I think that they went up against a pretty darn good team, and even if whether they were close or really far away, the bottom line is they weren't good enough, and they got their butts kicked by Utah. And I thought as that game went on, they got more and more kind of just like, but they kind of packed in a little bit, and that's fine. They weren't going to win that game. After that sequence in the end of the second quarter, beginning of the third quarter, they weren't going to win that game. So whatever they did after that, I don't really care and don't complain about anything. But, that's just us. Mikey, do you have anything else to say about the stupid game before we get to like the 18,000 calls we have?
No, that's about it. It's crazy how Oasis is going to be at the Rose Bowl this weekend.
With KG Elephant. I'm trying to see them on Friday night, but tickets are ridiculous, and Access screwed me again.
Yeah. But it's funny. That's probably going to be the first time the Rose Bowl has been filled. 6-7 years.
That's funny, Mike. That's pretty good. There was a concert there last year they filled up, but oh my God. Oh Lord.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, duh. They do concerts there all the time. But Ben Bulch said that they're going to they have to resod the Rose Bowl field after the concert, because obviously you're going to have people on the field. They have to do that in 5 days, I think, because the next game is on a Friday.
Oh, yeah.
And that's another thing. If things go south at UNLV, there's going to be nobody at that game. It's a Friday night. It's 7 p.m.
They could beat
against New Mexico.
Mike. They could beat UNLV by 300 points. Literally.
Oh, no.
They could
no
be
doubt.
the biggest record-breaking game in the history of the universe. There's still not going to be that is already set in stone. There's not going to be a crowd for New Mexico.
Oh, no, exactly.
There's
not.
not.
I'm saying if they go 0-2 into that game,
no, they go 1-1.
We're going to hear crickets.
You're already going to hear crickets. There's nobody at the Rose Bowl. That's the wrong button. Sorry. There's nobody at the Rose Bowl at all in 2 weeks. Guaranteed.
Yeah, no, exactly.
End of story. It's already set in stone.
Exactly.
If they would have come out and beat Utah and played really well, then now we're like, okay, well, maybe they're building something. Nobody is going to be at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
the
no doubt.
shittiest crowd ever.
Exactly.
And no doubt it's not going to be there anyway. They might be on tour. They broke up. Whatever.
Jake,
Anyways.
really quickly, go back to that one voice and say exactly what I'm going to tell you. When it's time to party, we will party.
When it's time to party, we will party. When it's time to party, we will party. Okay.
Sorry.
Hey, you don't know Andrew WK?
Yes.
Okay.
I know
I was like, that sounds exactly like it.
Okay.
Sorry, we are off the rails just because
guys,
we
Mike
kind of have
Mike
to.
over
Sorry.
in Jersey.
Yeah. Go, Mike and Mike. What's up?
Oh, it's Mike
All
from
I
Jersey.
can say is about this game, I stayed up till, 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock for this? It's such a joke. Look, here's the thing. I just don't understand how first-year coaches, first-time coaches like Dillingham and these other guys can completely revitalize a program, but we can't. Deshaun last year didn't have time to recruit. He was already behind the 8 ball. He recruited good once he got in there for a full year. He recruited, but he's going to need at least 4 recruiting cycles just to get themselves out of this talent hole that they're in. And that's only half the battle. Then you got to retain the players and pay them and keep them. But if they keep losing, he ain't going to last. So really, this all falls on Martin Jarman for not being a competent athletic director and firing Chip after a tight end beat us at quarterback. We're at a point where we might have dug ourselves into a hole where we can't get out of as a program. I'm completely dumbfounded how we upgrade on the offensive line. We're the biggest we've been in years, and we get absolutely manhandled on the offensive line on both sides of the ball, and we can't tackle. These are all Division I athletes. You mean to tell me that they can't practice tackling? This is a joke. This is one of the worst UCLA games I ever seen in my life. That's all I got. Here's little Mike.
Yeah, exactly what my dad said. Couldn't do any tackling whole game. The blocking was worse than atrocious. Edom 11 had to get out of the pocket almost every play. That's how bad it was. I thought we were going to be good on the O-line this year because we have a really big O-line. well, they keep playing like this, going nowhere. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, the tackling was awful, the blocking was awful. Sucks to be Bruin, man. Another year of Bruin,
Sometimes it's
another
hard,
year of
kid.
peace.
Yep. Well, hopefully I can call you guys next week with better news, but these sort of problems don't fix themselves over the course of the year. We have a major, major problem, and it's from the top down. If it's not corrected, it's only going to get worse. So take care, guys.
Mike and Mike. What's up,
Mike.
y'all?
Yeah.
New
thanks for
Jersey in the
calling.
house.
That's right. I mean, like I said, you're echoing a lot of the things that we've heard come out of this game, and like I said, I'm reluctant to call this a referendum on the Deshaun Foster era or the Foss era, as it's been labeled. And by the way, EK had a nice little speech before the game up on the Rose Bowl screen. I would like that. And former guest of the What's Bruin show was a captain for the game, Phil Ward. That was fun as well. But Mike and Mike, yeah, call next week. Hopefully they beat the Runner Rebels, the Rebs, and we'll see how it goes. But it's one game. It's the first game. It's a really ugly game. It's against Utah. We're sick of getting beat up by Utah, but it's one game.
Yeah, can we stop with the Utah games? Although
you heard me.
True.
We never have to play them goddamn bastards again or Arizona.
No, I'm for
cancel
that.
all the games.
But you do realize why this game happened, right?
Why, Mike? You tell me.
Because UCLA was supposed to play at Georgia, and then both of them backed out.
I'd rather go to Georgia. I would have rather.
Do you know how much
Georgia.
we would have gotten wrecked?
Who cares? It wouldn't have been any worse. Everybody would have expected it.
It would have been way
that
worse.
would have been way
It's
better.
Georgia.
And the experience would have been in Georgia. We could have gone to that game. Are you kidding me? It would've
That's true. I've always wanted to go to
then
Athens.
nobody would give a shit.
The home of REM,
They'd be like, okay,
B-52s.
oh yeah, we respect it.
Yeah.
That's a big faux pas.
That would have been cool.
I'd much rather get my ass beat by Georgia Bulldogs than fucking Utah again.
That's also true.
Come on. Jesus Christ. All right.
Dude, it was so funny. Last
next
week,
call.
Wait, hey.
Next call.
Last week when I was talking to different Utah people,
yeah,
I would say I would say that and UCLA and Utah are going to be playing in Rice Eccles West. Few of them love that, and they ran with it.
There we go.
Just like your bear.
Next call.
This is Mike from Santa Clarita.
Hey, Mike.
Jake, it was cool to see you.
I saw him parking.
Heading into the game. I hope you had a good time. Not much to say about that loss. I mean, I definitely do have my thoughts. I think my main takeaway is that there could be a very valid reason that this program didn't want any coverage during fall camp. It's clearly unprepared and is on the verge of losing the remaining fans it has left. Now,
that's a
Utah
very true
could
statement.
be good, but what UCLA put on display last night was probably the worst performance I can recall in years. That's up there with the 50-0 blowout from SC. I think last year's home opener against Indiana was better, quote unquote, in the sense that there was a lot of optimism around, it's the Big Ten, and Indiana was pretty unknown at the time, and it was Foster's first year and all of that. But now you've got a bad product, you've got a staff that looks lost. You've got a quarterback who's got talent, but nobody really to throw it to. And you have a defense that just looked like Swiss cheese. You put it all together and you go, maybe a 5-win season. Maybe. Hopefully 2 wins. Hopefully UNLV and New Mexico. And then maybe we can beat Northwestern, and God forbid what happens against Penn State. But it's so hard to be a Bruin, as you guys saying, but at the same time, it's hard to be in this position after the first game of the season. You can only hope that we can go up from here. If I was a recruiter, I would be calling everyone who's ever darkened the door and said, "This is why we need you." But I don't know if I was a player, I'd want to be there. So anyway, love the team. Will always root for UCLA. I have an interest in it. I'm very thankful for the university and for the program. but that was gut wrenching to watch.
Very
so
rough.
Go Bruins. Let's try to enjoy the rest of the Labor Day holiday, and let's rally to get at 500 next week against the Rebels of UNLV. So,
Oh my God, my guys suck balls. You know it.
If I suck balls, you are king of suck balls mountain.
Yeah, Crawford, that was really tough.
Mm-hmm.
But don't get too discouraged. It's only one game. We'll have to see. Like I said, if they're 0-2, I'm going to be right there with everybody.
Yeah.
Right there with everybody because, they can't be 0-2. But if they're going to beat UNLV, then go and beat blah, 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 blah. They should be 3-1 when they go to Penn State. And if they're not, then that's going to be a ginormous,
that's a black eye already.
Yeah, and it's going to be like, the rest of the season's going to suck.
Yeah.
Like if they're not 3-1. But they have the chance to be. So let's see if they can get it turned around. Foster made a good point in his press conference, and it's very, very true. You see more improvement game 1 to game 2 than you do pretty much any other point of the season, I think. And this is going to put that to the test.
Yeah.
Right, Mike?
Yeah, especially because, I get it. UNLV is putting up some, we'll get into that in a little bit, but they are putting up big numbers because they're playing nobody. And they even struggled against a nobody. They struggled big time. Yes, they played at Sam Houston State and beat them, 38-21, something like that. But that was a team that is one of the lower rungs of Division I football.
The Sam Houston game is not the one I'm concerned about too. It's like the first one they had against Idaho
No, I know
State.
that was
Yeah.
that was not good. In my opinion, UNLV should have blown them out, but they struggled, especially in third quarter, early fourth quarter, and they just pulled out a win.
Nice call.
Hey, fellas. Just wanted to call and check in. This is Tony. I was also at the Rose Bowl yesterday, Saturday. You guys probably won't be hearing this till the Tuesday podcast, but hey, just wanted to weigh in on a couple of things. Number one, very good recap of the game, Jake.
Thank you.
I couldn't agree more with your assessment of everything. And by the way, you got decent pipes, man. Don't sell yourself short on the Sometimes It's Hard to Be a Bruin song. Wasn't bad at all. I prefer that over the lousy chick voice over that you guys use. But anyhow, getting back to the topics that I wanted to share, I'll just share a quick insight here. I thought the game was over from the very first offensive possession that Utah had. It was really clear to see how outmatched we were. And, nothing worse than coming into a new season with a lot of hope and not a lot of insight from camp, only to have your hopes dashed literally within the first series of the game. That being said, I remain slightly hopeful that we'll get to at least 500. I do agree that we should beat UNLV, should beat New Mexico, but I don't know. Like, that defense looked so bad yesterday. The tackling was terrible. Offense aside, yes, we had a lot more hopes for Nico and team, but that defense just ripped my heart out yesterday. And it's enough to worry me that we will not be able to bounce back in a way where we look decent, even against terrible teams like UNLV and or New Mexico, who's really terrible. That being said, I guess I'll keep my hopes alive, and we'll keep watching the game and see how the season progresses. But I just don't see how that defense gets any better. All right, folks. Hey, as always, thanks for everything. Jake, I saw you from a distance yesterday at the Rose Bowl, but didn't get a chance to say hi. I'll come by and see you if you make it to the New Mexico game. If not, I'll catch you the one after that. Have a good one, gents, and let's keep hope alive.
That's right. Go Bruins, and thank you very much, Tony. And yeah, I absolutely won't be at New Mexico because I'll be conducting the Cal band with my daughter Megan for her senior day that weekend. So I won't be at that game, but I will be at the next one. I'm pretty sure. And yeah, Mike.
And what is that next one? Penn State.
Yeah, I'll be at Penn State. That's yeah. So anyways, at least for a quarter.
Yeah, I know, right?
So get to me early, Tony. I'm with Tony in that as soon as the game started, I guess that's another reason why I wasn't super duper pissed walking out of the Rose Bowl, because as soon as it started, I'm like, it was pretty easy to see the goddamn score. And by the score, I don't mean 20-0. I just mean like the score between the two teams is like, this ain't going to go the way that we all want it to go right now. So we might as well just like, I was very thankful, Mike, for the fact that there's a lot of the clock moved very fast during the game, except for the stupid TV timeouts.
Oh, that was horrible.
That was a very fast game, but for the stupid TV timeouts.
If I wasn't annoyed by Fox college football already, especially with their big noon and that lineup, which is just full of annoying douchebags. And then side note, dude, that tribute to Lee Corso was awesome. Did you see that? That was pretty cool. But yeah, I just, what the hell with the first 7 minutes was just like introducing the game. They kick off, and then it's like they go to commercial.
The TV timeout,
so
kickoff
bad.
TV timeout is like the biggest thumb in the eye to people sitting in the stands.
So
it's so
stupid.
Bad.
And just 3, 4, 5 minute commercial breaks. We don't. It's a late game to begin with. Can we just end this crap?
But going back to what Tony said, it's like as soon as I saw that first series, I was kind of with Tony. I'm like, this is not going to go well. And like when you're just watching the game and you're watching the lines move, both sides of the ball, UCLA was getting dominated. It's like, this is not going to go well. This is This is a recipe for a classic drubbing. But I do think that the defense can play better, and I believe they will play better. And I believe we have proof of concept last year when they got better as the season went on. And I realized that they didn't realize that they had Carson Schlesinger, Captain America, back there in game 1 and 2, and he developed into that.
Yeah.
And they did start with Jay Toya, and they did start with these other guys that turned out to be really, really good. Who's my guy? Not Osa. The guy that they turned into an edge guy that I can't think of. They came from Cal. He got drafted.
DeVilliers?
No, from last year.
My guy. Femi.
Yeah. So anyways, like there were guys on the team last year that were like, oh yeah, that's a dude.
Yeah.
And we aren't necessarily pointing to dudes this year going, that's dude. But they still do have a very big, beefy center of their defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think they definitely can play better when they're not going up against, multiple Outland Trophy candidates.
Yeah.
And look, I think Utah's going to turn out to be pretty good. You don't know, but it feels like that to me. So I do think the defense can get better.
Here are two positives I will take from the defense. John Vaughns and Isaiah Chisholm had the majority of tackles. Now, sometimes they were situational and they had to run afterward because other guys weren't doing their jobs. But yeah, Chisholm ended the game with like 17 total tackles. I think Vaughns had 15. And you know what? You guys usually get between like 8 and 10 per game. So that's pretty impressive. That was
that's fine with the problem
high.
The problem with that is that when Schlesinger was getting 20 tackles in the game last year, he was getting those tackles in the line of scrimmage, like in a gap. And
a lot of these were clearly beyond the line of scrimmage.
And Vaughns, they're getting tackles 6 yards downfield. Like all that shit's got to change. Like there's nothing on the defense that worked. There's nothing.
Well, I would say that like they're putting out the effort. Other guys have to do the same thing.
Yeah, look, I'm not even saying none of them were. Yeah, I agree with you, Mike. I don't know if it's a matter of. I don't know if I'm going to call out anybody's effort, but you're right. Like those guys were working hard, and they were making tackles downfield, and everybody else got to pull harder. I guess I agree with that. Yeah, that's fine. All right, next call. We got a lot of calls. Gee whiz. I love all these calls.
Hi, What's Bruin Show? This is Carrie.
Hi, Carrie.
Jake, I really enjoyed your song.
Oh, God.
It took a lot of effort to do that. And I love your commitment to UCLA. I look forward to the additions that might be coming to it as well. I think, did you say your daughter plays violin?
Yes.
So, yeah, that would be a nice touch.
Mm-hmm. And Mike's going to sing.
Thanks for the podcast post-show. I have a few comments about it. The first is I am surprised, but also it makes sense, this loss. And I say that because, we have on offense, which did a little better than the defense. We have a brand new OC, and the offense looked shaky, like it had never played under this OC before and was still working out timing. And Nico missed spring camp, so it makes sense to me, although I was still surprised. Defensively, I had a lot of faith in Coach Malloy. Again, he has a bunch of new coaches under him. Just there's some basic things that both offense and defense couldn't do, like tackling, blocking. I mean, basic things that should have been worked on in both camps. And that's probably what worries me the most, because I don't know if that's fixable at this point. And I guess we'll find out. Not bringing your basics to this matchup was foolhardy. The other thing I'm curious about too is just, I love Coach Foster. He just believes in the school, and wants to put UCLA football up front and center in the conversation. But I kind of wonder about, the coaches that were picked up this year. They're great recruiters. Doesn't necessarily mean they're great coaches. Other things are, John Wooden, don't mistake activity for achievement. If you're pushing your guys to be first to practice, that doesn't necessarily going to mean that they're better players. Yeah, I don't know if DRE is helping the players get in the position to have their best game against top-rated opponents. I mean, if you're struggling to catch the ball, if you're struggling to block, if you're struggling to tackle, it looks like there's certain things that weren't covered during the preseason. I also am curious if the coaches knew how bad this team was going to perform today. I'm curious if the coaches can spot their weaknesses and attend to those with some sort of response to help the player get to a more competitive place. I honestly would not be surprised if this is a total shock to the coaching staff. And that's worrisome. I wonder, if you don't know how to identify these problems early and address them early, how are you going to do it now once the season starts? So I hope this team answers these questions with the win over UNLV. But we'll see. I'm on the edge of my seat. So anyway, thank you so much. It was fun again to listen to you this summer, and looking forward to the podcast. Go Bruins.
Thank you very much, Carrie. And I appreciate your kind compliments about my singing voice. And yes, that was only the demo. Mike's supposed to lay down a track. I'm supposed to lay down a track. I get some violin on there. We could even get some trumpet on there. I don't know. Who knows? But hopefully it's going to come together at some point. But getting to what Carrie was saying, Mike, and it's like, when you talk about, did the coaches see this coming? I would say no. I don't think they did, because they don't know what Utah is. They suspect how good Utah is, right? Yeah. But there was a lot of news with Utah too, and it turned out Utah was ready to freaking go.
Yeah, they had the same offensive line as last year and still went 5-7.
Yeah, and then, but they got the new offense, so they probably had, Utah probably knew what they were looking at, but UCLA didn't necessarily know what was coming in. But the way that people are describing how this game went, and I totally understand it because they did get their ass kicked. But in my mind, it's kind of like if you've ever arm wrestled somebody, right? And there's a lot of different arm wrestling matches. There's an arm wrestling match where, two people are similarly strength and they're both giving it their all. And that thing stays right in the middle for a while until somebody kind of loses their stamina, and then it slowly becomes a victory for the other guy. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or girl, whoever's arm wrestling. And then there's other times
when
two people match up and you're like, dude, that dude's swole and that dude's swole. And it looks like it's going to go like this, like it's going to be a tough match. And then they say go, and one dude just fucking smokes the other guy.
Yeah.
Right? Just bam. And the thing is that winner might not be that much stronger than the loser, but they're strong enough to make it definitive.
Yeah.
Both guys can be strong. And I'm not saying UCLA is strong in the situation. It's not that metaphor that I'm drawing. I'm not saying UCLA was strong. They looked very weak. But what I'm saying is that this kind of goes back to Deshaun Foster and his close comment, right? It's like they know what they saw in camp, and either they were trying to hide and obfuscate by kicking the media out of camp, or that just is two separate things that may have nothing to do with each other. But I feel like Deshaun Foster thinks that he's got enough to play good this year and win some games, win enough games, defined probably by making a bowl. We think they should win more than that, but that's kind of what the standard everybody else has laid for them. So thinking about the arm wrestling match, I just think this is the game they went into, and they thought they were at one strength, and then they look across the board at that big ugly Ute, and that Ute fucking smokes them. But it doesn't mean that they don't have things to build on and move on, and now they get to take on 3 wimpy guys, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're going to take on 3 wimpy guys before they play Penn State and get smoked again. Yeah, but that's right. But Carrie, thank you very much for the call. We have a lot of calls, and this is going to be a double show, and we'll see how that goes.
Deal with it.
Jamal's going to talk shit.
Hello, this is Jamaal from Southern Arizona.
Hi, Jamaal.
Just calling in to chime in on the Bruins game. I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Thanks, Jamal.
Just wanted to say it's pretty sad that Utah came in and whooped UCLA's ass while my Cal Bears were taking care of Oregon State on the road. And then Cal finally has a quarterback who can actually throw a pass.
Hello and welcome to the Bear Minimum.
Fortunately, they still have
Go Bears!
wide receivers who drop passes. But I heard that Cal's wide receiver that transferred to UCLA, who I didn't bother to learn his name.
Mikey Matthews, dick.
Pretty good out there. So hopefully they can protect Nico's butt enough so that he actually gets some passes in. But, keep doing a great job on the show. I do miss hearing from that one guy who's the host of the
you don't even know.
Called? Oh gosh. Oh yeah, West Coast Bias. That's my favorite show on the network. I hope you guys have him on soon. Well,
you're just all about the West Coast bias. You don't like the East Coast.
I think he's pretty awesome. Pretty handsome guy too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big admirer of that West Coast Bias guy. So have him on the show.
The West Coast Bias.
That's all I got. Go Bears.
Spend more time in California, dick. All right, you too. Have a great week, Jamal. It was good to see you. I had lunch or brunch with Jamal and Bill the other day. You were watching the kids. We went to Brent's. We all had.
I know.
Me and Jamal had pastrami, and it was wonderful. Bill had something. He had an omelet or something, and Bill's Bill. But it was good. We had a nice little brunch. 2 more calls, Mike.
Hey guys, it's Leo from Long Beach. Jake, congratulations on the cardio, working out. You're looking
thanks,
good, my
Leo.
friend. Keep it up.
You too.
Mike, didn't catch you at the game on Saturday. Yes, our stadium looked a little empty, but maybe that's because our students start so late. Regardless, I'm excited that we won't get to see Utah until 2030. I was a little confused and
I'm
thought
fine with it.
we'd see them next year, but we won't. I think we start off at Cal next season.
Go Bears.
Anyways, looking forward to Vegas. Hope it's some improvement from this team, and not too excited about a Friday tailgate, but that's what we got for this year. All right, guys. Wish I had a better attitude or a little bit more excited, but hopefully I'll be calling Saturday night from Vegas with some more pep in me, and excited that our Bruins come out with a victory. But we'll see what happens. All right, everybody. Until then, go Bruins.
Go Bruins, Leo. Thank you very much. And it was good seeing Leo and Manny out there at the Rose Bowl. Although Leo did not do any 8 claps. Like there was, by the way, not that there was any room for 8 claps. And I actually like the fact that the Rose Bowl crowd was kind of like, they're getting their ass kicked, so we're not going to do too much rah-rah stuff because there's nothing to rah-rah about. But like, that's how bad it was. There was 20,000 people there. There was like 1 8 clap at the beginning and no more after that because there's no reason to do any goddamn 8 claps. Leo never stood up on the tunnel, cement there. It was rough. That was a rough game. It was a rough game. Leo almost has me. I wasn't going to go to UNLV, or I was going to go to UNLV, and then I wasn't. And now I'm kind of like rethinking it. I'm not going to, but now I wish I would. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Because I have to pick Molly up from a flight that lands. Sarah had a really good idea. I drive I'm gonna like to get a rental car, drive out on Saturday, watch the game, do the post game, then fly back to LAX on Sunday morning because Molly's flying into LAX from Thailand on Sunday morning, and I meet Molly at the airport, and then Sarah comes to pick us both up.
That's planning right
That's
there.
a pretty lit plan, right?
That's pretty badass.
But the problem is Utah just beat the Bruins by 50.
Yeah.
It's hard to be a Bruin. And I'm like, I already spent a boatload of money on UCLA as it is. Do I want to spend that much more to go, do an all-nighter in Vegas? Which actually that didn't sound that bad, especially Leo's going to be there. It's part of like Rock Scars, Leo.
Do it.
You're not going to UNLV, are you?
No.
Okay.
No.
So, I mean, it's like, if you're
I have the kids, and I'm still trying to see if I can get to Oasis on Sunday.
Oh, shit. Yeah. And Oasis there on Sunday. I want to go to Cage Elephant on Friday.
Yeah, they're doing
so
Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Well, last call.
And then 9 Inch Nails is in like 2 weeks.
I'd like
Pulp
a
and
whole-
LCD Sound System is in
insane.
3.
I'm going to see the Strokes.
September's
Going
lit.
to see Marina. Running a half marathon. I got a lot of shit going on.
Damn, dude.
Let's go.
Quick question.
Yes.
Once again, Des.
Oh, hey, Des.
Just bothering you guys. Two questions.
I love our
Did
contributors.
Chip actually build up the levels that were needed for anybody to take over and be successful? And the reason why I ask that is when you look at the transition from Neuheisel to Mora, Neuheisel was recruiting his ass off, and Mora basically benefited with 3 or 4 positive seasons. When you look at when he was fired and Chip took over, he jettisoned, in my opinion, he jettisoned a ton of players and started trying to build his own sort of team to then only just started using the transfer portal and not building up any of the ranks along the offense, defensive line. And he did grab players, but most of those players at this point, or before he even left, had gone to greener pastures. So I'm just curious, even though it sounds like I'm trying to excuse what happened on Saturday night, is it really all his fault for that ass whooping because there was nothing built in beforehand? Or is it just that year 2, Deshaun should know better, he should have taken the bull by the horns, tried to get the talent in as fast as possible, and just continue what Chip was doing? Anyway, guys, have a good night. Go Bruins.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I kind of feel that Deshaun Foster is kind of, to an extent, trying to do what Chip Kelly did, all facets of running the program. And yeah, it's good. Obviously, a lot of coaches take from their predecessors, from the guys they learn from. That's why we have so many wonderful coaches originating from these so-called coaching trees. But I'm also hoping he's not really relying on trying to be like Chip Kelly in running the program. Not running the game, but running the program. But that's an interesting point I thought of.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like you get beat up by Utah, and you look as bad as you look on the offensive and defensive line, and it's easy to go like, well, why aren't they recruiting anybody? Why don't they have anyone in the pipeline? Why do these guys all suck? But then I look back at last year, and people were very complaining about the offensive line last year because they had no running game. But I still think that they didn't have a running game because Eric Bieniemy was a terrible offensive college coach, and Fredo ruined the whole thing yesterday. But one of the Bruins' problems last year, in my opinion, was not the offensive defensive line play to a degree. Like they looked the part for the Big Ten, and then they lost a lot of guys, and now it's another cycle. Yeah, Chip Kelly didn't recruit. It seems like Deshaun Foster is recruiting. So I don't think it takes that long to get it going, and I'm still not going to give a firm judgment on this particular team's offensive defensive lines yet.
Yeah, especially after game 1.
After game 1, and like I said, I think Utah's pretty good. If they prove out to be pretty good, this is going to go into the bucket of this is a game like, not like Penn State and not like Ohio State because they're not that good, but they're pretty darn good. And so it's kind of like the Indiana game last year. It's going to look better as we go on, even though it won't look better because they got fucking lit at home on the opener. But it'll be more explainable, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anywho, thank you to everybody that called. That made this show go well over an hour, and we haven't even gotten to the UNLV
game that will be.
So we're shutting this down right now, and we're going to come back, and we'll do the game that will be and we'll go with you, and then that will be that. Okay, so Mike, until next time, what do we say?
Good evening.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
That was the What's Bruin Show.
Oh my God.
Try us tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's got to be in or out, Mom. In or out. Well, I need the door closed.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Dude, Rob, we place a ball on the West Coast.
The final word is boob.